loved ones over the coming days for a holiday meal, others continue to struggle to put food on the table alone. As we've been reporting throughout the year, food insecurity remains a major issue facing so many households across the country. Across Canada, about 2.8 million Canadians are using food banks every month. The Daily Bread Food Bank in Toronto estimates that 10 million Canadians are living in food insecure households, with 1 in 10 people in the nation's largest city, again, relying on food banks. With me now is Neil Hetherington, who is the CEO of the Daily Bread Food Bank. Neil, thanks for being here. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mike. Matt.
You know what? This has been tough, and we continue to, and I know from your standpoint, I'm sure it is incredibly difficult to watch families struggle. The affordability crisis has been so hard on so many people. Take us through what you're seeing on the front lines and people that continue to rely on food banks here as we get into the holiday season here.
Well, what we're seeing is all around us right now. We have volunteers on Christmas Eve saying, "Hey, today's the day I'm going to make a better Canada," and they're sorting through food that will get out to the community. So that gives me hope in the face of the really very difficult numbers that you brought forward. You know, 1 in 10 Torontonians having to rely on a food bank, that's horrific. The fact that there are some 2.8 million Canadians using food banks across the country, it shouldn't be that way. And so we have the opportunity to agonize about the numbers or organize around them. These volunteers are organizing around them. We're sorting through cans, but we're also having questions and conversations with all elected officials to start to change the systemic reasons why people are having to come to food banks.
This is a really big conversation, clearly. We can't get into all of it right now, but for you, your organization, it's wonderful to see the volunteers there, but talk about those pressures for you in particular as you are trying to provide, so many people with food on a regular basis.
Yeah, well, we have to raise $4 million more just this week alone, and that is to maintain service levels. We used to spend about $1.5 million a year on food. Now that number is $22 million a year on food just to maintain service levels, and that is pre-pandemic to current times. And so food banks all across the country are struggling. They're struggling to meet that demand. And so, we're very hopeful that 2026 will bring about a much more resilient environment, a much more resilient country where every single member of this nation can thrive in their individual community.
I want to ask you too, you're talking to governments, you're talking to levels of government in order to address this issue, but for, the average Canadian that may be watching right now, is volunteering and donating, those are the two biggest things they can do. But from where you sit, what can they do in order to help this crisis?
Yeah, donating food or funds is incredibly impactful for your neighbors. And so we are hopeful that people will make a financial contribution to their local food bank, and here in Toronto, the Daily Bread Food Bank. But not everybody can do that this Christmas. That's the sad reality of what we're facing. And so I am hopeful that every Canadian can write any elected official of any party at any level of government and say, today is the day to build that better Canada. How can we develop affordable housing? How can we treat the most vulnerable with that sense of dignity that they deserve as we espouse our Canadian values?
Well, can't thank you, Neil, enough, your team, the volunteers there, and to all food banks across the country during this season. Neil Hetherington, CEO of the Daily Bread Food Bank in Toronto. Thanks for your time. Merry Christmas.
Thanks very much. Happy holidays.